Hi there, it's Jen, and it is September. I can't even believe it. Friday, September the 2nd. I'm here live with you. I was just a couple of minutes late because I was having trouble finding my phone. I put it down somewhere close by to where I was going to work, and then it just disappeared on me. So, anyways, all good, all connected now. If you are there, please let me know. And if you can hear me, please let me know. And I'm going to get started. So let me start, of course, with showing you this here, which is the card that I made last week. And I always do a draw for the card that I made last week, the week after. So today. So this is the beautiful card that I did sponging and fall stuff on. I've got another fallish type card today for you. So, but I want to do a draw for that. So let me just share the screen. And so basically anybody who's liked or commented on my post will be into the draw automatically. So hold on a second. Let me just set this up. I see Nicole there. She's my sound check. Thank you, Nicole, for saying everything looks good. So just look funny for a second until I can pull up the other screen. Here we go. Okay, so it's all set up here from anyone who commented last week or shared. And here we go. Let's see. I'm going to grab a pen. Who is the winner? Oh, it's me. That's funny. So that's not going to work. So let's just do this again. Start. So basically, you have to be Canadian and not a demonstrator to win. So let's see here. We've got Joanne. I'm going to write it in here. Gabrielson. Okay, fantastic. Good. So let's just stop the share and we're going to go back over to me. Angelica's there catching me live. Yay! Hello, hello. So it's a long weekend here in Canada, in most of the provinces, I believe. And it's the sort of official, a non-official start of fall. So I thought today I would do another fall type card. Now my heart wasn't in it at the beginning. I really wanted to do, well, either Christmas, because, you know, Christmas is coming and we card makers like to get going on that early, or summer, just to hold on to summer. But I decided to do fall. And in the end, I'm really happy with the card I made. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy the card too. So let me just pop over to the stamp space here and we'll get going. So let me just put Joanne's card over here so I can make sure I mail it. Remember, I did that cute envelope with it too. Okay, so I'll put it over here. And the stamp set that I'm going to work with today is this one. It is called Beauty of Friendship. It is in the Stampin' Up annual catalog, and it has these beautiful trees, and they're like a two-step stamping tree. So what you do is you stamp, this looks like the Christmas tree, you'd stamp this one, which actually has lots of variations in the color anyways, and so it would kind of look like a two-tone tree, and then you can overstamp with this piece and get even more detail. So I'm actually only going to use one piece today and then something else. And it's got some beautiful sayings in here too, which is nice. You truly inspire me. Thank you. Friendship refreshes the soul. Thank you. I believe in you. And hello. So I'm going to show you two things I'm using here. One, what did I want this page for? Oh yes, is the mono glue. People often ask what adhesives I'm using. This is the one I'm using on page 127. And I'm also going to be using For Everything Sequins on page 141. This is both of the annual catalog. I've used both of those things before, but I wanted to just point them out. So I'm going to start here with a piece of basic white cardstock. It is 5.5, so the width of a card, by 3.5. Okay, so let me put that down. And look at all these beautiful fall colors I'm using. So a little bit different than the previous week when I added like rusts and the blue in there. These ones are probably what you consider more traditional fall colors. So I'm going to start with this big stamp here from the stamp set. And I am going to ink it up with soft suede ink. I see Vaughn D there as well. Hello, hello. So what is everyone doing for the long weekend? Anything special? Our pool was out of commission for a little while, so I'm hoping to get some pool weather in there this weekend before it has to get closed eventually. So I'm stamping 3 trees. So now when you're stamping 3 of anything, what you want to do, or positioning 3 of anything, you want to stamp the 2 outer ones first, because unless you're measuring, you're probably not going to get them perfectly lined up, but then you can see, especially with these nice photopolymer stamps, where to go to get the middle. And it's not going to be perfect because I'm just eyeballing this here. You could measure if you want to, but that takes too much fiddle time, which I don't want to do. That's close enough to have those 3 trees. So I'll stamp with a soft suede. Okay, and then I'm going to take the overlay stamp. So this is the one here that's got 2 kind of tones in there. You could overlay again with this one to get even more color, but I'm just going to do these 2 and you'll see why after. So I'm going to start with pumpkin pie. This is a pretty orange that definitely makes me think of fall. And you can just lay it right over top. Hopefully you can see that without my head in the way. I'll hold it up here so you can, oh, that's the wrong stamp. Well, that's what the overlay looks like. I guess I had this one out here. So let me just go right over top and just cover that up because it's the same color pretty much. Okay, so you can see there, it's got lots of sort of variations in color. And that is from the stamp itself, not from what I just did, okay? And then I want to give this a little wipe here with my sponge, my chamois. I see Cindy there too. Hello, Cindy. Okay, and then I'm going to move to Poppy Parade. And I'm going to close these ink pads up as I go. And not because they dry out that quickly, but because I'm a spaz and I'll put my hands through them. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to do Poppy Parade next. And the same idea. I'm just going to hover that over top. Beautiful with the photopolymer because you can see. I let it sit and seep onto the paper. And see that beautiful kind of 2-tone image that's coming right from the stamp itself. I'm not doing that. Okay, and then we're going to go to Cajun Craze. Notice I didn't clean it this time. I just dabbed it off because this is a darker color, so it's going to be okay. And same idea. Sit and seep, and there we go. 3 beautiful trees. Definitely look very fallish, don't they? Okay, and then I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper. So this is just a piece of my grid paper, and I'm going to rip it. And I'm going to rip it on what I call an interesting angle, which that isn't. That is just totally a straight line. So let me just add a little bit of dipsy-doos in here. Yeah. Now I'm back to a straight line. I want to add a little bit of something in here. Here's a bit of a thing here. There we go. Okay, a little bit of something. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my card and I'm going to just lay this piece of scrap paper on here. And I'm going to grab my old olive and move some of these things out of the way here. And I've got a blending brush here. So this is the same thing I used last week, but I'm using Balmy Blue this time. And so remember with this, what you want to do, I'm going to put it so you can see it, I hope. Here, let me just move this down so everything is better in frame. And then you want to rub it off a little bit on scrap paper. I grabbed the blue brush, not the green one. Okay, we'll have to grab another brush after. Let me just put that over here so I don't mix it up. Dab it off on scrap paper and then rub it on here. Just nice little sort of circular motions right up against that rib. Okay, and this is going to be some grass, of course. And then I might just move maybe just a little piece here. Dab it off first, just so it's not so harsh, and add a little bit more here. So it's kind of like 2-tone there. So isn't that cool? Pretty? All right, now let me grab another brush here because I messed that one up here. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same thing with some blue. So this is the Balmy Blue that I thought I had already. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dab it off a little bit, and then I'm going to brush on. And I'm going to go down towards the trees, but not all the way down, just so that I've got a bit of a darker skyline at the top. Oops, that one went a little darker than I intended. I don't think I dabbed that one off. You can see what happens when you don't dab it off. You get a darker piece. Well, the good thing is sky is all various colors, so it'll be okay. It'll be like a little cloud there. So I'll just maybe add some more dark on the other side to balance it out a bit. And I'll show you my original, which isn't as dark. Actually, I kind of like that. It does, but I do feel like I need darker over here just to balance that. Okay. And you can go right down to the grass if you want, or you can leave a little bit of white space. So already we've got this beautiful fall scene. Isn't that cool? So let's see. We've got a few people telling us our weekend plans. Angelica says she loves how I'm doing the grass. So easy, isn't it? Really awesome with those blending brushes. Okay, so now we're going to do something really, really fun. Oh, actually, I'm going to keep this here for a minute. This is a part of the stamp set. Let me show you here. There's a little wee set of dots. I love dots in stamp sets. Whenever I see them, I try to take note of it so that I can use them for other things. So look what I'm doing here. I'm just adding some of those dots. Now I'm stamping on the scrap paper first and then on here. So it's a little bit lighter of a version of color, but just adding a little bit of interest to that sky. I mean, this is not meant to be completely realistic, right? It's kind of artistic. So I got a rhythm going on here. So it's just giving a little bit of interest to there. So now I feel I did one low here, so I feel like I need to do one more here. You can even stamp it a few times if you want to. So again, very pretty, nice little fall scene going on here. Very easy to do. Okay, so here comes the fun stuff. I'm going to take my embossing tray and my embossing buddy, and I'm going to rub the embossing buddy on the tray. I know this seems really strange, but I have my reasons. And I'll tell you after why. Okay, and then I've used these before. They're the For Everything Fancy sequins. And they come with the blue ones, some pink ones, and these green ones. And the green ones are the ones I'm going to use. Because I want to add just a little bit of green to the trees, because trees are usually not that solid, right? There's usually a little bit of green left. And here's my multi-purpose glue that I'm going to use, and I'm going to just put some, I'm going to take my scrap paper that I had here and just dab it out first. Okay, so it's coming out well. So I'm going to put some dots here. This is a bit of a thicker glue than the fine tip glue, and so it will hold bigger sequins and things, which is what we're going to do. I'm just going to dab it all over on these 3 trees. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll hold it up. So I've just got glue dabbing all over there. And then I'm going to take this in here, my tray, and I'm going to sprinkle the sequins all over those trees. And I can use the whole package if I want. There we go. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to funnel them all back in after. So I'm just going to kind of press them down here, trying to get them sticking into that glue. Isn't that pretty? That's a pretty tray. Look at that. I love this sequin pack too, because there's not only green in here, there's light green, dark green, there's sequins, there's hexagons, there's white stuff, there's little bits of gold, there's shimmery stuff, there's all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. And I am going to take the other parts of the card here. Paulette says she just ordered the sequins. They're really pretty. And you know what? So you can use them for so many different types of cards, I think. Fold that in half. Okay, so I'm going to bring this back for a second. I'm going to shake this off. Woo! So we got quite a blob there of sequins. They're not all going to stick. I'm going to try and get some of those extra ones off right now. Just flicking like that. Now some of them are just going to need to set some more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scrap paper here. I'm just going to lay this in here upside down and give it a little rub, hopefully to cement any that are on there. Okay, and then I'm going to pour these sequins back in here. So this tray, this is in the mini catalog. This is called Embossing Editions. It comes with a little tray and a brush and the embossing buddy. And I'm going to just funnel those right back in. And this is the reason why I used the embossing buddy, because the first time I did this, I didn't use the embossing buddy and they all stuck to this platform. So I've got a clog here. So this, at least now they're sliding off just a bit better, and see how they're all going right into that thing. I'm going to take this little brush that I have here and just brush them all in here. And I got pretty much all of them. I've got some on my desk here, which I'm going to just scoop down. Okay, So you can see that although I used a lot, there's still a lot in there. Okay, so I'm gonna put that aside still for a minute. And I'm gonna grab a little scrap. Oops, I better put this lid on, this knob on the lid so I don't lose it. Hi, Chris. And I've got a little scrap of paper. So when you're cutting little pieces off like I did for that white piece, here's another one, you always get these little pieces. Don't throw those away. These are perfect for sayings, especially small straight sayings, like straight across, you know. So these are great for this. So I'm just going to stamp this thinking of you in the soft suede. And this is from that stamp set. Okay, and let's have a look at our thing and see how it's looking. Okay, so I did it on this paper, so if I do get any extras, I can still brush them on here a little bit. So a lot of those seem to be sticking now. There's a few coming off, but here's what I figure. Anything that falls off later, because it will, some of them will fall off because there's not going to be enough glue on there. They'll fall off in the envelope, and then someone's just going to get an extra little surprise. How pretty is that? Blinged up trees. Okay, so let's put this together. So I'm going to put tape on here. This is the mat, so I'm going to go in just a little bit. So this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, just because I don't want to turn this upside down and crush all those. Like so. Okay, and then this is going to go on the card front. So same idea. I normally would put tape on the back here, but I don't want to do that. Still got sequins coming off here. Let's, I'm putting lots on here because I don't know if this is heavy or not. In fact, I think, whoops, I might put a little bit along the edge here too. I still got sequins falling off on me here. Trying to catch them while I can. Okay, so this is just going to get centered on here. This is a great little card design, by the way. Very simple, but very practical. Okay, let's just check here and see if we've got any overlap. Nope, looks pretty good. Okay, so that's cute so far, right? And then we've got our saying. And we can do this however we like. A little tiny bit on the side or whatever. I'm going to do it just a little bit different than I did my sample so I can show you two different ones. I'm going to cut it here. And often instead of a notch, I just like to do a slant like that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of tape here on the back. Bobby's there too. Hey, Bobby. And I am going to just wrap a little bit of thread around here. You don't always have to tie everything. You can just have a little element of thread on here. And it doesn't have to be a bow or even a knot. Just a little bit here to bring through the crumb cake color. Okay, and then this is our linen thread, by the way. I've used this before too. Love that. It's in the main catalog as well. And I'm going to just put a bunch of dimensionals on here. 3. I'm going to trim this just so it's out of the way. Okay. And you know what I meant to do, and I'm going to do this before I stick it down. I meant to add a bit of blue to the edges here. Let me just put these sequins away so I don't accidentally knock them over. So again, in here and a little bit off. And then just a little bit here along the edge, just so it's not so stark. That's definitely going to make my fingers blue. Just a tiny little bit. Another sequin. Okay, now I'll peel these off and I'll check your comments there in a second. And then I have one little thing I want to show you too. So if you had any boo-boos, you could put it wherever the boo-boo was. Okay, so there we go. Thinking of you. So this would be a cute card just to tell someone you're thinking of them. If you took the bling off of it, it would maybe even be a good sympathy card. So like I said, these things will fall off a little bit in the envelope wherever there isn't glue sticking. But so let me just show you my original one, and then I have one other thing to show you. So here's my original. So you can see it's a little bit lighter here. I didn't go down quite as far with the blue. I did have a boo-boo right here. The tree, I kind of rocked it a bit, so I had to put that there. And I added a couple little sequins here, which I thought were kind of cute. You can see already that there's less sequins on this one than there are on this one. So they will fall off wherever the glue isn't holding them on. So it's just kind of a fun fall card, I think. So kind of neat. So let me see here, and then I'll show you the thing. Vaughn says, putting that string there is a great idea. Thank you. And Nicole agrees. And Angelica says, what a novel idea. And Estelle says, very nice. Thank you, ladies. And so what I want to show you here is just one last thing. I almost did something with one of these today. It's one of the promotions that's on for September. There's a couple. One of them is a weekly deal. Both of these things are on my website, so I'll put a link to them. And they're in my newsletter. So if you get my newsletter, you will have seen this as well. But they're basically 6 dies. You'll be able to see all this at once that are new. So, but they complement stamp sets that are in the catalog. Like this one here, for example, is in the mini catalog, the Apple Harvest. And then it's got dies that cut them out, which is really fun. I got this one here, Playful Piggies. So there's dies that cut out all those little pigs and a little wagon, some grass. It's just super, super cute. Love it, love it, love it. And then, and this one is in the annual catalog, the Piggy. And the same with this one, Tree Trimming. So this is a beautiful sort of Christmassy stamp set, and now there's dies that will cut them out. So, but these are only available during September or while supplies last. This is always a thing Stampin' Up says, while supplies last. See, the dies come from overseas. The stamps they manufacture locally. So the dies, once the supplies run out, this is it. It's over. So if there's something you want here, don't wait to get those. Okay, so that is it for me today. I'm hoping that you all have a, let me just flip over the camera here. Here we go. I appreciate you guys joining me. This is always the best part of my week, is being able to make something for you and then join you guys live. So I'm wishing you all a, oh, I see a question there here from Vaughn. Let me just show you, Vaughn, what I did. She asked what stamp set I did. It is this one here, Beauty of Friendship. It is in the annual catalog, this one. It's beautiful trees. These are great for all sorts of stuff. Masculine cards, like I said, sympathy. Definitely could make that into Christmas if you wanted as well. So hopefully that helps. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me on this long weekend, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful holiday, and I will see you all again next week. Take care. Bye-bye now.